Okay, perfect.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our virtual presentation on emergency food access in Guelph and East Wellington. My name is Carolyn Fritzley. I'm a registered dietitian with Diabetes Care Guelph since 2009. Alyssa, I'll let you introduce yourself.
And my name is Alyssa Ramusak. I'm a registered dietitian at East Wellington Family Health Team with their diabetes program.
So today, I'm going to be giving a summary of the resources available in Guelph, and then I'll turn it over to Alyssa, who will cover the East Wellington resources, and then share some handouts that she's created on how to use some of these food items that you might get from these emergency food access places and how to use them in your everyday cooking. I'll skip over the question. So you can go to slide 2. So we've created this presentation for World Diabetes Day, which is on November 14th. And so World Diabetes Day was created in 1991 by the International Diabetes Federation and the World Health Organization. It was created in response to growing concerns about the escalating health threat posed by diabetes. It's marked every year on November 14th, which is the birthday of Sir Frederick Banting, who was the co-discoverer of insulin back in 1922. So we're almost at the 100-year mark since that important discovery. One of the aims of World Diabetes Day is to promote the importance of taking action to confront diabetes as a global health issue. And every year, the campaign focuses on a dedicated theme. And the theme this year is access to diabetes care. And so our presentation is focusing specifically on access to emergency food in Guelph and East Wellington. Slide. So there's many reasons that people might need to access emergency food. Sometimes it's temporary, going through a hard time and needing support and assistance, and other times it's more of a long-term solution that's needed due to circumstances. Due to stay-at-home orders over the past 2 years, with some people unable to work, definitely these food access programs saw an increase in their use. And I have a couple stats. 13.2% of people in Guelph suffer from food insecurity. And our latest stat on how many food bank visits there was from 2018, so prior to pandemic, and there was over 23,000 visits that year. Slide. So due to COVID restrictions, many of the food access services have had to adapt their businesses to fit in with public health recommendations. So some have had to move to online versions, whereas they might have operated in person as like a market before. Some have had to change their hours of operation. I started back in August trying to collect this information and make sure it was up to date and contacting the places. And then again, a couple of weeks ago, kind of looked into it briefly. So I believe this is the most up-to-date information here. But you will have received a handout listing these Guelph resources. So you'll see the phone numbers and email addresses. So perhaps contacting them prior, just to make sure the hours and location are still the same. That'd be a good idea. Next slide. So I've tried to group the Guelph options into 4 different categories. So there's a couple fresh produce markets, some that are kind of the pre-packed hampers. There's a few neighborhood groups, and then kind of an other category that I'll get into some of those. Slide. So the first option here is called The Seed, and it's located at the Community Health Center in downtown Guelph. And it's a really neat one. I mean, prior to COVID, it was operating like an in-person food market. So they brought in all this food, operate as a market. Now, however, it's operating as an online grocery store. They have a pay what you choose pricing system. So it's open to everybody. So for those who can pay kind of the regular market price, they're welcome to do so. And that helps to subsidize the cost for others who might not be able to. And those people might choose to pay the 25% of the cost, 50% or 75%. So it just kind of depends on what you feel you can afford. And then they do offer these groceries delivered to your door, which is nice. Slide. The North End Harvest Market is the other produce market available, and it's kind of in the northeast end on 140 Waverly Drive. On their website, it says the market is a free, fresh produce market, but it's also a place for advocacy, friendship, support, and connections to community resources. Prior to COVID, again, it was operating as a market. So it's still in person, but they've been making these pre-packed hampers with their fresh fruits and vegetables for you to come and pick up. There's no registration needed, and it's Wednesdays from 4 till 6 p.m. Slide. The neighborhood groups, so most neighborhoods in Guelph will have a neighborhood group, but not all of them will have emergency food access. So to my knowledge, there's 7 neighborhood groups in Guelph that do. They're all currently by appointment only, and it's open to all households that are in that neighborhood. The website listed there, the guelphneighborhoods.org, that's a neat website to go to. You can put in your address and it'll tell you what neighborhood group you belong to. So again, you can find the phone numbers and the websites and that resource I referred to, and they'll vary based on the neighborhood group. So they have a variety of offerings. So some have produce, some have canned goods, some have gift cards, and some have clothing. Next slide. So the first one up here is the Brant Ave neighborhood group, and it's located in the kind of northeast corner of Guelph on 35 Algonquin Drive. So they will do a $20 grocery gift card once per month per family. They also have these pre-packed hampers. They do a lunch snack program for kids. And they operate Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 9 to 3. And it's pickup only there, though. They don't do delivery. Next slide. Then there's the Grange Hill East neighborhood group at 470 Auden Road, so kind of central east part of Guelph. They have a free food cupboard, so they've got non-perishables like canned goods, dried goods. They also have some frozen bread and hygiene products. And then not guaranteed, but often they'll have eggs, milk, cheese. They're Wednesdays 6 to 7, Saturdays 9 to 10, and they would just have a sign-in required, not a registration process. And next slide. The Two Rivers neighborhood group is downtown Guelph on 131 Ontario Street. They have a community garden, so you can have a plot and grow your own. They also have a food cupboard with non-perishable items, and you can come in and get 1 or 2 bags per visit. And then they do sell a mixed produce box, so kind of a pre-selected produce, and you can buy those for $25. Next slide. Then there's the Onward Willow neighborhood group at 15 Willow Road, so kind of west end of Guelph. And they're currently not operating on site though, so you could call or email with that contact info there. And they have small emergency food hampers and also clothing too. Next slide. The Parkwood Gardens neighborhood group is on 21 Imperial, fairly small. They would just do canned goods by appointment only. Next slide, is the last of the neighborhood groups is the West Willow Village, so kind of further down Willow. They'll have canned goods, dried goods, bread available regularly, and then usually meats, dairy, vegetables, more often in the summer because they partner with the cooperative youth farm, so you'd have fresh local produce from them. Next slide. Pre-packed hampers. So if anyone's kind of familiar with the food bank, then this is kind of like the traditional thing you might picture, is that you'd get a hamper with pre-selected foods in it. So this you could get at Chalmers, at the Seniors Association, the Salvation Army, the Guelph Food Bank, and Holy Rosary Church. So I know they do offer like kind of special hampers if you had a food allergy, or for certain religious food restrictions, you can ask, and sometimes they can accommodate that. And some of them will require registration, others are a sign-in. And then a note that the Salvation Army also offers bread and baked goods and produce once a week as well. Next slide. And then the Lakeside Hope House, that's kind of a neat option downtown, 10 Cork Street East. You can see the hours of operation there. And it looks kind of like a food market, a grocery store when you walk in. There would be a bit of a registration process because they want to know how many members in your family and if you have babies or young children, because they use that information to allot you a certain amount of their bucks that you have to spend there. So you would get a certain amount of bucks, and then you would walk around and pick out what you would want, and it would be clearly marked with how much the items cost. So you can select what you need. Families with babies and young children get separate bucks. So there's food ones, and then there's ones just for babies or children for diapers, that kind of thing. They have a variety of foods and items to pick from: fresh produce, canned goods, meat, dairy. They'll have some, like if there was like a food allergy, some of those products, hygiene products, cleaning products, baby products. So quite a selection. Next slide. And then kind of more of those other resources. So the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, they have emergency food vouchers. The Children's Foundation of Guelph and Wellington have pre-packed kits, and Royal City Mission, they would have operated prior to COVID, offering hot meals, a place to eat, sit down and eat. And right now it's prepared takeout meals for pickup only. So that is the end of the Guelph resources. So now I'll turn it over to Alyssa to cover the East Wellington resources.
Yeah, so now we know a little bit more about the services provided in Guelph. I'll be discussing emergency food access services provided in the Wellington area. To our knowledge, there are 9 community food banks in the Wellington County, most of which provide prepackaged, non-perishable and perishable food hampers and/or frozen meals for pickup or delivery. The Arthur Food Bank offers 3-day emergency food supply of non-perishable and perishable items, as well as grocery gift cards to anyone in the Arthur area. Due to COVID, food hampers are currently pre-packed, and clients must register with the food bank in order to receive their food supply. The Center Wellington Food Bank is located in the Fergus Marketplace. It provides non-perishable, perishable, fresh fruits and vegetables and prepared meals for pickup or delivery to anyone in the Center Wellington area who's registered with the food bank. Similar to the Arthur Food Bank, the Center Wellington Food Bank is now asking individuals to call and place orders for pickup or delivery when needed. In addition to providing food bank items for pickup or delivery, the Center Wellington Food Bank also provides monthly community dinners and offers special programs and events, such as their Christmas Angel program, which is currently running now. The Clifford Food Bank now is located at the Minto Public Works shop. Previously, it operated out of the Knox United Church. They provide perishable and non-perishable prepackaged food hampers for anyone in the Clifford area once per month. The Clifford Food Bank requires clients to call to confirm eligibility, and once confirmed, clients must call the food bank by Tuesday evening to receive their food hampers on Thursday. The Grand Valley Food Bank, also known as Community Emergency Relief Network Concern, offers prepackaged, non-perishable, perishable, and fresh fruit and vegetable hampers for pickup to any Grand Valley resident who is in need of assistance. It operates on an emergency basis only, and clients must register to receive food hampers. The food bank also offers a Christmas food hamper program that runs each year. The Drayton Food Bank offers non-perishable prepackaged food hampers for pickup to anyone in the Drayton area who is facing financial hardship. Clients must call to register, and once registered, it is encouraged that clients make food hamper requests by Wednesday at noon and to confirm their pickup time in order to receive non-perishable food supply. The East Wellington Community Services provides monthly food support of prepackaged, non-perishable, perishable, fresh fruit and vegetable food hampers for families and individuals in need, as well as frozen prepared meals for seniors. Their services are open to everyone in the East Wellington area, and clients must call to register. Families and individuals are provided with the opportunity to choose a variety of foods based on Canada's food guide and any nutrition requirements that they may have. Due to COVID, the East Wellington Community Services are running a drive-through model with clients to pick up food hampers. They're also providing porch drop-off deliveries for individuals who may not have access to transportation. Other food-related programs available with East Wellington Community Services include Adopt a Family Christmas program and their school backpack program. Beyond food, East Wellington Community Services provides outreach support for anyone who may be in need with their social services needs, mental health and addiction support, and anyone who may be facing financial hardship or who are in need of affordable housing. The Harrison Food Bank provides prepackaged, non-perishable and perishable hampers for pickup on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The food bank is open to anyone in the Harrison area, and individuals must call to register for their services. The Mount Forest Community Pantry provides non-perishable and perishable food hampers once a month per client for doorstep delivery. Anyone in the Mount Forest area who is facing financial hardship can call to register for Mount Forest Community Pantry services. This also includes individuals who may live in Minto, Southgate, Wellington North, and West Grey. And lastly, the Palmerston Community Food Bank offers prepackaged, non-perishable, perishable, and fresh fruits and vegetable food hampers for pickup for individual clients and families in need in the Palmerston area. Clients must call to register, and hampers may be picked up on Thursday by appointment, provided that clients have made a request for a food hamper before 9 p.m. on a Wednesday. In addition to bringing awareness of the emergency food access in the Guelph and Wellington area, we've also developed handouts on common pantry items like canned beans and lentils, nuts and nut butters, canned and frozen fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and canned fish. On these handouts, you'll find some key nutrition information, tips on how to store them, and also meal and snack ideas. So we're going to walk through a couple of the handouts here. So canned lentils and beans are a great source of fiber and protein, perfect for adding to soups like this vegetarian lentil soup, salad like a Mediterranean chickpea salad, or a classic bean chili with the colder months upon us. Nuts and nut butters are another nutritious food packed with heart-healthy fats, fiber, and protein that can be added to your oatmeal, salads, and homemade trail mix or granola bars. Although peanuts and peanut butter are touted as a beloved tasty snack or a delicious spread on toast, peanuts are actually considered not a nut. They're part of the legume family and grow underground as a root instead of on trees like almonds, walnuts, cashews, and other nuts. Of course, we all know how important fruits and vegetables are in our diet. Not only are they a great source of fiber, but having a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables provides us with essential vitamins and minerals to support important bodily functions. Canned or frozen fruits and vegetables can be just as nutritious as fresh fruits and vegetables. In fact, frozen fruits and vegetables are picked at their ripeness and then frozen right away. So this flash freeze is what helps fruits and vegetables retain their nutrients better than fresh fruits and vegetables. So for some recipe ideas, you can try making your own delicious tomato sauce with canned tomatoes and dried Italian seasoning or basil, or you can mix together Greek yogurt and frozen berries and throw it in your freezer for a delicious yogurt and berry bark. We also have a handout on whole grains. So grains are considered a whole grain when it has all three of its original parts intact, so the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. Eating whole grains can ensure you are getting a good source of fiber, B vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Consider having whole grains more often as they are a low glycemic index food, meaning that they don't cause our blood sugar levels to rise as quickly. Of course, there are plenty of whole grain, whole wheat breads, pastas, and cereals out there, but try incorporating other grains into your diet like brown rice, quinoa, barley, bulgur, buckwheat, or spelt. And lastly, we have canned fish. So canned fish, like canned salmon and tuna, are rich in protein and healthy fats like omega-3 fatty acids, which support heart and brain health. Although canned tuna and salmon are often used in sandwiches or wraps, why not try them in a salad, pasta, or to make your own fish cakes? So we'll be providing a link to these handouts after our presentation today through email, and you're welcome to download and print these handouts for your own use as many times as you'd like. Our presentation today specifically focused on bringing awareness to the services provided in the Guelph and Wellington area, and was not an exhaustive list of all the food services provided in Ontario. So to conclude our presentation, we wanted to direct you to other helpful resources to accessing food and community resources in Ontario. So the Feed Ontario, formerly known as the Ontario Association of Food Banks, is an organization of food banks and industry partners that are working together to end food insecurity. On their website, you will find food programs, community food programs, COVID-19 initiatives, as well as an interactive Find a Food Bank map. In addition, the website provides actionable items on how we can advocate for change and support individuals in our community who may be experiencing food insecurity. The second resource, provincial resource we have listed here is 211 Ontario Food, which provides a directory of multiple food-related programs such as food banks, programs for free or low-cost meals, community gardens, school meal programs, and cooking spaces and cooking classes. We just want to thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation today on emergency food access. We hope that this presentation has provided you with a greater awareness of the resources available in the Guelph and Wellington area. Thank you.